get a 1 in the chat? Can I 1 in the chat? What up? What up? Y'all good? Because I'm good. You sure you good? Because I know I'm good. I'm good.
Nice and long days on the road getting paid. Shout out my women working corporate in the blade. Whatever it takes to make it shake for your fam. Whether you scheme, you strip, or you scam, I understand the pressure trying to grind. Keeping your soul while making these dollar signs. Cars decline, whips get repossessed. In your room stressed, wondering what's next. You're blessed. Don't forget it on your hard days. Stay focused until there's marble down your hallways. I used to be in my dorm praying for change. Before the deals, the chains and the fame, the game will have you all out of pocket. Better be cautious of what you do for profit. You fail, they knock it. Succeed, they knock it. Don't pay them no attention. What they can't do is stop it. I'm good. And every hood, every turf. Some people think that I had it since birth. Mama and daddy work. Remember still on the first. I never been rich, I was the first. Baby, I'm good. For fashion week to the block. They never thought they see Sweetie on top. Ha. It took a lot to get a lot. Showdown shows and merch shops. I'm good. I'm good. I said, baby, I'm good. Hey, hey, baby, I'm good. Hey, look, baby, I'm good. Hey, I'm good. Hey, baby, I'm good. Hey, I said, baby, I'm good. Hey, hey, baby, I'm good.
Love me some sweetie, honey. Peace, girl. Peace, world, peace. Hello, world. Peace, world, peace. Say it again. Peace, world, peace. Welcome or welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks, a.k.a. the $1 trillion goddess, baby, a.k.a. the queen of info. Okay, I'm back. I'm live. We got a lot to talk about today. Let's get into it. What's going on, Wow Wayne? Beautiful spirit. Yes, thanks for holding down the channel. Appreciate y'all. What's up to everybody in the bushes? What's up to everybody in the replay? All right. Hey, Juti. Yeah, you right on time, baby. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Diddy had a hearing today. Okay, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into some updates on his case. We're going to talk about Meg and Tory, Thee Stallion, Torey Lanez. There's some updates with them. We're going to talk about Kanye West, or Ye, okay, and his deposition craziness. I got something on Don Richard, Tony Buzbee. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about some weird Hollywood rituals. Okay, and then, just some extras, a little bit of extra stuff. And I want to remind you that I do have another channel, the Nosy Goddess, Nozey Goddess. I just posted a little something up there today about Dennis Rodman and his daughter. I mean, it's always some drama, right? Drama for your mama. But let's start off by getting into the court hearing today. So they captured some of the family coming into the court. Let's go.
me, everybody back up, please. So get this out, I'll be out of here.
Hi, how are you feeling? How are you feeling today? How are you going to be spending the holidays? How are you feeling today?
All right, not a whole lot to it. Not a whole lot to it. We saw Christian Combs and Justin, right? Christian looked like he needed a little haircut. They both look like they have a lot on their shoulders. That's the sense I get, is that it is heavy, which of course, that's going to be the situation with the kids of Diddy, who is in a fight for his life right now. And it's interesting. We don't see, I mean, I don't know if it maybe just wasn't captured here, but we don't see anybody else. We don't see anybody else from the family but the two sons. And I think these guys, a couple of them are the friends of the sons. Of course, there's security. And of course, there's the reporters asking stupid questions. Okay, I'm going to get into a court filing, and then we'll get into hearing, okay? I just lost the page of the filing, so give me a second. Let me pull it back up. Here we go. Okay, so prior to today's hearing, there was a joint filing by both parties of the case. And of course, we're talking about Diddy's lawyers and the prosecution. And here's what basically was said ahead of today's hearing. Dear Judge Subramanian, the parties respectfully submit their joint letter in response to the court's order dated December 12, 2024, directing the parties to outline their issues the parties believe should be addressed at the pretrial conference scheduled to proceed on December 18, 2024 at 2 p.m. Now, of course, today is the 18th, and this hearing has come and gone, but we're going to go through the live tweets and see actually what went down. But the government's position is that the government is on track to complete production of the discovery currently in its possession by December 31st, 2024. Certain discovery, however, may be introduced after that date. For example, due to technological limitations, the government has not yet been able to extract every electronic device seized. To the extent that the ongoing efforts to extract the devices are successful, those extractions will be produced promptly. Moreover, as noted previously, the government's investigation is ongoing, and the government will continue to produce discoverable material as it is received on a rolling basis. This may include, among other things, records received in response to outstanding or new subpoenas or other legal process. With respect to the defense statement that it intends to write the court regarding the government's Brady disclosures to date, the defense raised a question about the government's November 21st, 2024 disclosure letter for the first time on December 15th, 2024. The government would like an opportunity to meet and confer with counsel on any alleged deficiencies before seeking court intervention, particularly given that the government's discovery productions in this matter are not yet complete. The defense's position is that they intend to file a letter with the court today requesting that the court modify the terms of the protective order to require the government to redesignate a small subset of discovery materials currently designated as inspection only to attorney's possession only. We have met and conferred with the government on these materials, and discussions are at an impasse. The defense's letter will also address the government's Brady disclosures thus far and argues that the Brady disclosures fail to meet the minimum constitutional standards to which Mr. Combs is entitled. The parties will be ready to answer any inquiries from the court about pending motions. And it's signed respectfully by Edward Y. Kim, acting United States Attorney, Maureen Comey, Meredith Foster, Emily Johnson, Christy Slavic, Madison Reddick Smizer, Mitzi Steiner, all assistant United States attorneys, and then Mark Agnifilo and Tenny Garagos from the defense. Now, in this letter, the government already said, and they've said this before, we're going to give you everything by the end of this month. But they also are saying here that some stuff you may get later, some stuff you might get sooner. And we're going to continue even after the fact to give you stuff because we're still trying to pull information from some of these devices. Now, if the federal government is having trouble de-encrypting, they got a tight lock and hold on whatever is in these devices for some reason. I mean, a tight lock. Now, as far as the Brady disclosures, Brady disclosures are evidence that the government have that could possibly be a benefit to the defense or the defendant. So they're saying that they're falling short of that, but the government says that they want to meet and confer with the defense before they have the judge intervene on this. And I believe that the judge had asked them previously to do that. Try to work things out. If you can't, I'll step in, but try to, work everything out amongst yourselves, right? So let's get into the actual hearing that happened today. Thanks to Inner City Press. Shout out to you for the live tweets. Okay, let me come over and make sure y'all don't have no comments in the chat before we get into the hearing. Cedric, welcome. Jay-Z Island, an evil entity. Jay-Z's Island. Oh, the one they're selling, huh? I have questions about that island. Beautiful Spirit said Christian Combs acts like he's tough. I don't see Quincy and the girls, nor his mama, right? Juti, what's going on? Okay. All right, y'all. I see a few of my peoples ain't in the chat today. Hopefully they catch the replay, but let's continue. All right, so Inner City Press was in the courtroom, and this is how it went down. The judge's clerk said, we'll bring out the defendant in a moment. Check with Mr. Agnifilo. And then, okay, bring out the defendant. Says Combs comes out of the side door in the MDC jail in Tan and sits next to Tony Rico and hugs with and then waves at his other lawyers and those in the audience. So he's waving and hugging and, putting on a show like he does. The judge says, all rise. Good afternoon, Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs says, good afternoon. How are you doing today? The judge said, great. Better than you. I'm sure he was thinking it. What can we take care of today? The ASUS attorney, Emily Johnson, says, and we're going to call her EJ just to keep it short and cute today. We will produce all discovery by the end of this year. She continues, our investigation is going. The judge says, can you tell me how you're complying with the Brady obligations? EJ says, we are endeavoring to get them the information they're requesting, including interrogations we conducted. We've given files from victim one. So they have the files from victim one already. And they're saying that we're going to be giving them some interrogations that we conducted. Now, when you say interrogations, this sounds like it's not that friendly of an interview. It sounds like maybe hostile witnesses or people who don't really want to cooperate. So they're going to be giving that up, they said. The judge says, what can you tell me about your ongoing investigation and any superseding indictment? Ooh, child. EJ says, I can't say much. We're mindful of the trial date. Any additional charges will have little discovery information. Ooh, child, I feel an superseding coming soon. The judge asked the defense, what you got? Combs' lawyer, Aggie, says, the pattern of racketeer activities is very vague. They allege multiple acts of arson and kidnapping. Multiple acts. But what events? We anticipate a motion for a bill of particulars coming to the court. Aggie continues, if what happened in Mr. Combs' bedroom was found to be entirely personal, we'd view that as subject to Brady. Judge says, should I deny without prejudice the request made, understanding the government will engage in a dialogue with you? Aggie says, we prefer you keep the motion open. We plan to expand it, asking for more specifics. The judge said, based on what I've heard, there's going to be a dialogue. I'm willing to leave the motion open as long as you know I'm not ignoring it. The judge then asks, are there any other discovery issues? Aggie says no. The judge says, so on to schedule. By January 3rd, providing the court with any update on the motion schedule. The court's goal is to avoid any kind of surprise at the last minute. Let's meet on March 17th. That's it. The judge says adjourned. And that was the end of the hearing. It was really short. Not that sweet. Not that sweet because it don't look good for Combs. People want to continue to say online that this case holds no weight, that this case is going to be dropped, that, this case, I think people are also getting this case, criminal RICO, conflated with the civil cases that are happening and are all in the news media, but they're separate. And the judge already reminded everybody, and he also addressed the public, actually, the judge did in his filing of a letter the other day, to keep in mind that this case is not being tried in the media. Whatever you see in the media, you need to just keep that for entertainment purposes only, because this right here is a different animal. Okay. So let me come over and see anybody have anything to say about this beautiful spirit. Short and sweet for me, short and sour for Puff. Pretty much. Okay. Now, what are we moving over here for? I'm not here to talk about Bad Baby and the Alabama Barker back and forth, but let me tell you something. That's some juicy tea if you just want some drama, child. I just was on Instagram and I saw a whole bunch of mess. But actually, I came over here because to talk about Diddy. Okay, I got some stuff to catch up on here. Well, I wanted to talk about the drug mule that Diddy that was arrested when Diddy, remember the raid happened and they found the plane that was about to take off and they found what they call the rug mule and they arrested him. Anyway, his case has been dropped and I'm going to get into those details. But in the meantime, I guess we could talk about Buzbee and what's going on. So Jay-Z, it says, files motion to dismiss, claims Buzbee tried to extort the rapper. And I think this filing, what is this dated? It's dated today, but I thought they had already filed this motion. It says Jay-Z's legal team is going after Tony Buzbee for alleged misconduct, claiming he tried to extort the rapper, and when he couldn't, he proceeded to sue him, which is what I was going to get into. The fact that Tony Buzbee came through, honey, and filed a lawsuit against Roc Nation and a couple of the attorneys there. We'll get into the details unless they cover it in this story. Let's see what they say. The Star's lawyer, Alex Spiro, filed a motion Wednesday to dismiss a Jane Doe lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy, specifically calling out Buzbee for bringing the legal action. Now, Diddy has his hands are wringing in anticipation of what's going to happen with this, because if Jay-Z is able to discredit Buzbee or somehow get him in trouble where the judge is looking at him like he's not credible, and then they start dropping cases because of Jay-Z's fight, then that also benefits Diddy, right? Diddy don't have to spend a penny because Alex Spiro's taking care of the whole thing. But it says it says the Star's lawyer, Alex Spiro, filed a motion on Wednesday today. Oh, okay. So it was just filed today to dismiss a Jane Doe lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy, specifically calling out Buzbee for bringing the legal action. So I guess what they did file, though, was to have the judge require her to reveal her identity. So on top of that, they're now filing for dismissal. It says, according to Spiro's motion, Buzbee initially described Jay-Z as a prominent person in the lawsuit without naming him. Spiro's accusing the Texas-based attorney of demanding money to keep Jay's identity under wraps. Spiro says his client refused, prompting Buzbee to file an amended suit revealing Jay's identity and alleged role in the alleged rape of a 13-year-old way back in 2000. It says NBC News released a report after the lawsuit was filed, claiming there were multiple inaccuracies in the accuser's story, from where Jay-Z and Diddy partied after the music video awards that year, to her father not remembering that he picked her up after the alleged assault. Spiro also says Buzbee did little to no fact-checking of his client's story, shirking his legal obligations while trying to throw the blame on the rest of his law firm. The motion highlights Buzbee's past alleged misconduct too, including a track record of employing suspect tactics to gain an unfair in the course of litigation. They even mentioned by Buzbee was involved in where he was admonished for statements he made about former pro baseball player Scott Erickson. Buzbee represents multiple alleged victims who have filed civil lawsuits accusing Diddy of sex crimes. Spiro's asking for a preservation order to keep evidence destroyed and for the court to strike the complaint against Diddy. Tony Buzbee says they are really reaching to the point of being ridiculous. They are now asking the court to dismiss because I was supposedly admonished during my defense of a client in a double murder case in LA. That was actually a question. Is that how the case will be decided, based on some allegations from another unrelated case several years ago? If so, we then examine and determine how many times Quinn Emanuel has been admonished. And this is one of the lawyers he's suing at Roc Nation. He continues, or maybe we should look at current conduct of defense counsel who has flouted the rules and knows that people working on his clients are paying investigators to sue my law firm. These people keep going to new lows and have a lot of nerve to be throwing around reckless and baseless accusations. Whoo, child. This is a lot. Okay. So, that was pretty much that on the file for dismissal. And then Buzbee's response to that. Now, let's see. There's also the story about Buzbee suing. Let me just, before we get to that, I'll just keep going what I have open. Okay. So on top of everything else, let me come over here. Let's see what y'all saying. Diddy and Jay-Z and their attorneys act like a RICO and racketeering act and all of the other serious charges is not real. They have been pussyfooting around acting like clowns. Okay. Juti said Buzbee says he has proof on camera. He's got the goods, honey, baby. Yeah. Yep. He said he has a video recording, I think, too, of his proof. Beautiful Spirit said lawsuit still not dismissed. And why Spiro hasn't shown the letter yet pointing out the millions of dollars being demanded. I call and smell BS. Yeah. Now, typically when an attorney files a motion such as a dismissal, the other party has to also respond. They have an opportunity to file a response to this. So you're probably not going to see any action on the judge's part until there's been a back and forth between the two parties about, what they're trying to do here. Let's see. Spiro stumbled on his words when asked, was it true about sending false agents out offering money? Okay. Well, Wayne's, did you say P. Diddy, Mule, Brendan Paul dismissal? Yes, I did. And I'm going to get to that because I got to look it back up. Okay, but I want to talk about that the fact that they're suing Buzbee in federal court for alleged client abuse. Now, it says Buzbee has dismissed the claims as patently frivolous, arguing that they were designed to harm his reputation and undermine his firm's role in representing alleged sexual assault victims in the ongoing civil litigation against Sean Diddy Combs. Houston attorney Tony Buzbee is the target of 2 lawsuits filed in a Louisiana federal court accusing the lawyer and his law firm of pocketing settlement money through unethical accounting practices. Buzbee has dismissed the claims. Like I said, according to Buzbee, the former clients were financially incentivized to file lawsuits against him, adding that one former client was offered $10,000 to file the suit against Buzbee. He said, we have reported this conduct to the authorities. This is what Buzbee wrote in an email yesterday afternoon. We expect disciplinary action to be taken against the lawyers and individuals involved. These investigators have been caught on tape. This is egregious and illegal conduct. The 2 lawsuits were filed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana last week. In one case, a former ship captain named Adam Guidry, Buzbee took advantage of him by not explaining the associated expenses in his case. Guidry retained the Buzbee law firm in 2020 after he was injured on a dredging ship owned by Callan Marine. The case was ultimately settled, but according to the lawsuit, Buzbee's law firm retained most of the $350,000 settlement. In the end, Guidry's attorneys received only $5,123. In the other lawsuit, a ship deckhand named Matthew Ray Thompson claims Buzbee didn't give him the money he was entitled through the Jones Act, which provides a remedy to seamen, not seamen, but seamen injured in the course of their employment aboard a vessel due to the negligence of their employer, according to the U.S. Department of Labor's website. Now, Buzbee's law firm represented Thompson in a 2023 lawsuit against Strategic Towing Services after he was injured in a barge collision in the Houston Ship Channel. According to Thompson's lawsuit against Buzbee, the law firm allegedly deposited his checks into the firm's operating account and issued funds to Thompson and his wife through Venmo as high-interest loans. Both cases claim the law firm of unethical accounting practices, but according to Buzbee, he has affidavits from both clients agreeing and approving of their cases. He said, and I now have affidavits and a recording demonstrating that these clients were paid money to file these frivolous cases. Buzbee didn't share the referenced affidavits or recordings, but told Houston Public Media that he's shared the information with law enforcement and plans to file a lawsuit in response to the allegations this week. Now, this comes months after Buzbee announced he would represent hundreds of alleged sexual assault victims in legal efforts against rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who, as we know, has been federally indicted for alleged sex trafficking. Also named in the case is high-profile rapper and businessman Jay-Z, who was accused of rugging and abusing a minor in 2000. Whew, there's a lot going on. Okay, now let me look up the guy, the drug mule situation here. Okay, let me find that real quick. Child, there's so much stuff to catch up on. Okay, we got that already. Cardi B stays in the media. Okay, I'm gonna get to this one shortly about Kanye. Here we go. Well, this isn't the drug mule thing. This is the Tony Buzbee lawsuit. He said Roc Nation's trying to pay people to sue me. Calls out Jay-Z's attorneys. Let me see if they say anything extra in here. Jay-Z's war with Tony Buzbee is kicking up another notch. The controversial attorney just filed a lawsuit claiming Jay's company, Roc Nation, and its high-powered attorneys are conspiring to turn Buzbee's clients against him. According to the docs obtained by TMZ, one of Buzbee's clients, and we already read about, oh no, this is a different guy, a guy named Gerardo Garcia, says 2 investigators approached him at his home, claiming to work for the state of Texas, and told him they were putting together a lawsuit against Buzbee that could get Garcia a lot of money. And are these the same guys that showed up at those other people's houses that we saw a couple weeks ago? They just popping up at people's houses. Okay. Garcia says he recorded the encounter with the individuals, and Buzbee posted a pic last week from the video. Allegedly shows one of them disclosing they work for an attorney named Marcy Croft, who's described herself online as part of Team Roc, the philanthropic arm of Roc Nation. And Buzbee claims she also works with Alex Spiro, Jay's longtime attorney. Garcia says investigators were very pushy, but instead of accepting their offer, he decided to sue them for baratry. Let me write that word down. Baratry. I thought it said battery. Baratry. What does baratry mean? Let's see if we can look it up real quick. What's he suing them for? Let me see. It's a legal term with multiple meanings, including encouraging lawsuits, the act of inciting lawsuits between others for personal gain, can include bringing suits in the name of fictitious plaintiff or without consent of a real person. It also means ambulance chasing when a lawyer seeks clients at a disaster site, an old name for graft in politics. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this person got that term from Buzbee, because how would they know what that meant? But it says that's really they already told us. That's already an old-timing word for trying to get someone to file a bogus lawsuit. In the suit, Buzbee, on behalf of his client, says Roc Nation and his attorneys at the law firm Quinn Emanuel have a long history of the type of abusive and egregious conduct Garcia describes. For what it's worth, it says Buzbee originally repped Garcia in a 2020 personal injury lawsuit, which had nothing to do with celebrities. But make no mistake, Buzbee and Jay-Z are locked in a very personal battle now. Yeah. Buzbee reps the Jane Doe who's suing Jay-Z and Diddy, which we already know. Okay, so they're pretty much just rehashing. So Buzbee filed a suit, and then his client, Garcia, is suing Roc Nation, Quinn Emanuel, Marcy Croft, and one of the investigators seeking punitive damages. And he claims he suffered injury, though he doesn't mention any specifics. A Roc Nation person tells TMZ Buzbee's baloney lawsuit is nothing but a sham. They add it's pathetic. It's a pathetic attempt to distract and deflect attention. This sideshow won't change the ultimate outcome, and true justice will be served soon. Now, this is the messiest stuff I have seen in some time, child. This is messy. Okay, now let me see. I need to find, I think the guy's name is Brendan. Let's find his thing here real quick. Okay, we're going to get to you, Kanye. Oh, yeah, here's another thing I saw, too. Diddy's accusers, lawyer Harvey Weinstein versus Diddy, alleged patterns that are similar. This is a different lawyer. Thomas, a lawyer for 3 anonymous men who have accused Diddy of sodomizing them, says Diddy's a lot like another fallen Hollywood power player, Harvey Weinstein. The attorney stopped by CNN Wednesday to talk about the lawsuit he recently filed on behalf of his 3 clients. And he says the similar threads in their stories caught his attention early on. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Where'd you get those shoes?
Of course, there's an ad. Of course, there's an ad, so we'll let the ad play. But this guy Guffrey, he says his abusers like Diddy, accused of being, all have patterns, adding former Hollywood producer Weinstein had them as well. As did R. Kelly. So we're going to let this ad play, and we're going to see what he's talking about. But I have seen online somebody saying that Buzbee was the only lawyer.
Dozens of people coming forward. Some to you, some to another attorney, but there are dozens of people. What stood out with these 3 men to you that made you say, you know what, we need to file this case?
The patterns. the patterns. Whenever you have a serial abuser, they follow a pattern. Harvey Weinstein had a pattern. Sean Combs has a pattern. And with all three of them, the stories are a little different, but the pattern's always the same. Come into my orbit, have a drink, you get woozy, take a rest, wake up to being sodomized. That was the pattern. And it was the same in every single story.
And the details that they told you, can you give me a sense of, was there some detail that sort of stuck with you that said, I have to go forward with this?
Well, I think the person who was his gopher really struck me when he regained consciousness and Sean says to him, I'm almost done, held still. And that struck me. That was a powerful recollection, and I was struck by it, and the rawness and the arrogance actually that went along with it, and the entitlement. So that was the one that really stuck with me.
He sounds pretty emotional as well, recounting this. So let me see what y'all talking about in the chat, and we'll move on. I found Brendan Paul's story about his charges being dropped, and that's really interesting because I think he just got out of rehab, which was part of, I guess they say there was no deal, but it was a deal if they told him he had to go to the rehab. Okay, so let's see. Beautiful Spirit. Actually, we read that one. You said the lawsuit still. Oh, yeah, we read that one. Let me catch up. Spiro stumbled on his words. We read that one. Spiro had everything else on his bulletin presentation, but what he should have had. Oh, yeah. I sent you, there was a 30-minute PowerPoint presentation that Alex Spiro presented in front of a round table of reporters, it seems. 30-minute PowerPoint, basically breaking down all the discrepancies in the 13-year-old suit, the girl who's suing Jay-Z and Diddy's lawsuit. But I'm sure in there he didn't address some of the other things, like the fact that she had autism, the other things that might have been clouding the father's memory because of his past. There's a lot of things to consider. And again, the dismissal was just filed today. And so I don't expect to see anything solid on that until some arguments have gone back and forth. Wow, Wayne said, Brendan Paul is guilty too. Cedric, someone should be in jail from Roc Nation. And hey, if not jail, somebody might get disbarred after they keep messing around. Because, the son that is claiming to be Jay-Z's son, he looks just like him and has been fighting to get a DNA test for over a decade. Now the feds have gotten involved in his case because they're investigating the possibility that the system has been bought by Jay-Z in that case. Judges, the DNA, Ancestry DNA company or whatever, he said that something happened where he didn't even end up getting the results back, or something happened with the results. A lot of mess. Yes, definitely welcome all new subscribers and my current subscribers, especially the ones y'all have been with me from the beginning. We got an anniversary coming up in January. Yeah, 6 years, baby. Hey, Michelle, everyone is definitely guilty. Everyone is guilty, huh? Let's just throw them all in jail, okay? Beautiful Spirit. Is Jay-Z Wick locks a full lace front? His facial hair looks scarce and his skin is bad. How does he have a thick head of hair? He probably does. And he got the money enough to get a good one. Hey, Diva Time Dance Company. What's going on? Diddy needs his tail beat. Definitely. He needs to get the treatment that he's been giving other people, right? He might be getting it in that dorm behind those MDC bars, honey. What else y'all saying here? The powers that be are moving these gatekeepers out of the way, and they already have the new gatekeepers ready to be next. Okay. Anna says, hi, Anna, welcome. That DNA company got sued. You know what? We just had a story about, it was a couple of them, right? 23andMe and the Ancestry one. When was this? A couple months ago? When all those people left those companies, especially that 23andMe, something, and we said something is coming to where they don't want to be associated, or something happened. But you know what? I'm gonna have to look into that, Anna. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, now let's get into Brandon the drug mule. and see what happened with him. Now it says Sean Combs' alleged drug mule sees charges dropped. Wow. The personal assistant accused of being Sean Combs's Diddy's drug mule had his 2 pending drug charges terminated Tuesday. Okay, so this just happened after he completed a court-ordered diversion program in Florida. This is what his lawyer confirmed to the Rolling Stone. Brendan Paul, 25, was with Combs at the Miami Opa-locka airport last March when he was arrested and led away in handcuffs. On the same day, federal authorities raided Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles as part of a federal sex trafficking investigation. Officials Paul's bag and allegedly found coca and marijuana candy. As a first-time offender, he was offered an alternative to prosecution. But he didn't even get tried, or he didn't have a court. You know, I thought everything, even though they catch you red-handed, I thought everything had to do some type of a court proceeding. But anyway, it says, I guess unless he took and see, to me, that's taking a deal. And they're not just going to tell you, you know what, if you go get treatment, we'll let it all go. They want something back. Now, this doesn't make sense, but it says here in quotes, Mr. Paul's case was formally dismissed today in its entirety. All charges have been dropped and the case is closed. And this is his lawyer, Brian H. Bieber. Mr. Paul is pleased to close this chapter of his life. Well, he better be looking over his shoulder, because I'm sure Diddy is mad about this. Paul's arrest came 1 month after the music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones sued Combs for sexual harassment and mentioned Paul by name. Jones alleged that Paul works as Mr. Combs' drug mule and he acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' drugs and guns. Jones said so if he went to a rehab for the drugs, what about the guns? Or maybe they didn't find the guns on him. They did find guns. Jones said he personally witnessed Paul transport or intend to transport illegal substances in his baggage while traveling between Los Angeles, Miami, Virginia, the Caribbean, and London on 3 separate occasions between December 2022 and late 2023. Ooh, child, Rodney is somebody you definitely don't want coming your way when you doing illegal shit, because he gonna tell it all. He is not playing with his information. It says November 2023 that Combs' ex-girlfriend. Okay, we know all that. I'm not trying to rehash everything we already know. So yeah, they're just rehashing all how his house started tumbling down, and it all is thanks to Cassie. It's all thanks to Cassie. Yeah, thanks to Cassie for stepping forward and letting people feel comfortable enough to also come forward. That's what we're seeing here. All right. All right. So we got that. I'm checking off my list, y'all. I got a list of stuff. I guess Dawn Richard will get into her thing next. Okay, so Dawn Richard speaks out. What happened to the title? Oh, on her shocking allegations against Diddy. So remember, she filed, and then Kalina, she mentioned Kalina in her filing as somebody who witnessed and saw as well the things she's saying. And then Kalina came out and just denied everything, and also called Dawn weird and said all kind of nasty things about her. And then we come to find out during these court filings in this RICO that Kalina was actually harassed and paid off eventually, it seems, by Diddy. Okay, so it says Richard's suit is just one of the countless cases lobbed against the now disgraced bad boy mogul. Singer Dawn Richard is speaking out through her lawyer about her bombshell lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. In a new interview with the Daily Mail for its Trial of Diddy podcast. Oh, I'm gonna have to listen to that. Richard's lawyer, Lisa Bloom, and that's Gloria Allred's daughter, if you didn't know, is shining a light on how her client is dealing with the new lawsuit and her reaction to some of the latest updates connected to the case. Now, this is from The Root, and they say that back in September, Richard, I don't know how she says it, but accused the disgraced bad boy mogul of belittling, terrorizing, and sexually abusing her. The two were first connected when she appeared in his MTV show Making the Band back in 2005. Wow, 20 years ago. Fast forward to 2024. Richard is now alleging she witnessed Diddy while high on drugs, being abusive to his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and maltreatment of her when she was in his group Danity Kane. Speaking about the allegations, Bloom said of Richard, "She is an accomplished woman and she's all about the music. All she wants to do is make music and be a musician. And yes, she found herself in the position after Cassie Ventura came forward of saying, I need to come forward too, in support of Cassie and in support of others to tell my own story." Later in September, when it was revealed that Diddy was allegedly using inmates' phones to tamper with potential witnesses, including former Danity Kane member Kalina Harper, who has a different memory of her time working with Diddy, Bloom explained that while she was shocked to hear of his alleged moves, she feels he's doing them out of desperation. What's more is that Bloom expressed that she's definitely looking forward to their day in court, specifically when she gets to finally get Diddy's deposition from prison. "I'm very happy," she said, "to go and take his deposition in prison. I've been to prison for various cases many times, so it doesn't bother me, doesn't scare me. And we'll see what he has to say about Dawn, and we'll see what his story is," Bloom said. "We'll see whether it matches up with the documents and information and other witnesses, what he has to say for himself." So yeah, there it is. So Lisa Bloom is playing no games, okay? Dawn got the right one. She says she's going to go to the prison and get his deposition on the situation. So typically depositions aren't made public and kept away from any court cases that ensue after the fact. But we're going to find out something else, because Kanye had a lawsuit deposition, or I don't know if it's one or more than one deposition. They're outing him for his tactics and his antics. I think I'll do that story next, and then we'll get to Torey Lanez and Thee Stallion after that. Okay, so Kanye, it says, "You're talking to the richest black man in America, wild lawsuit deposition." So I think he did this online because I believe he's still in Tokyo. See, Kanye, he think he's slick. He said he went to Tokyo to work on his album, but, and which, you know, it could be true that he went to Tokyo. I believe his mom took him to Tokyo. He spent a lot of time there, he said, as a child. But I think he's hiding out, child. I think he's pulling a Russell Simmons. But it says Kanye West's antics are on full display in new video showing his deposition from a recent tech lawsuit. And TMZ has the first look. So this is a tech lawsuit. It says the deposition footage shows Ye in a bit of a standoff with the attorney who was trying to ask him questions. Got to see the video. Let's just watch the video. I think the video is right here.
This deposition is taking place via Zoom video conferencing.
Mr. Rowe,
What is Atkinson Baker? That's the court reporter? Okay, hang on.
the court reporter service is on twice. All right. Madam Court Reporter, can you swear in our witness?
Mr. West, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly state, under penalty of perjury, that the evidence you shall give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
This is case number 220, entitled My Channel versus West.
My name is Michael Popak. Can you hear me, Mr. West?
Yes.
Okay. I see that you're looking down at probably a device. Are you on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to the ground rule that you not be on your phone during. Can we agree to that?
Well, is that legally what it should be?
I'm not going to advise you as to the law. That's why your lawyers are here. But that is my ground rule for the deposition, consistent with California law, that you need to be present, focused on the examination, and not on a device.
Due to my mental geniusness, in order to focus on this bullshit, I need to be on a phone.
Counsel, do you want to speak to your client before we continue?
I think, well, Kanye, in terms of, you can listen to the questions and answer them, right? Okay, I get off the phone.
Oh,
Okay, Mr. West, why have you donned a mask to start this deposition?
Because you don't have the right to see my face.
And is it your intention to wear that mask for the entire duration of your examination?
Perhaps.
Okay. So, counsel, we're going to take this up with the magistrate, but I'm not going to delay the examination. We'll do it at the break.
Kanye obviously had planned a stunt. He had that mask in his pocket. He was just looking for the appropriate moment during the deposition. I'm in for a ride. My goal was to stay on that Bronco as long as I could.
Interrogation Raw, Celebrity Under Oath, Thursday, December 26th at 10.
so this doesn't surprise me. I'm sure it doesn't surprise you as far as Kanye putting a mask on and then also being distracted on his phone during a serious deposition here. Now, I'm not sure what case this is. They said a tech case, but he has a bunch of cases right now on record. I don't know, Kanye. I don't know. You got 4 kids, okay? And that was another thing. Kim came out recently, of course, his children's mother, his ex-wife, to say that he's an absent father. So I don't even know what to say about this, y'all. What you guys have to say? Anybody have anything to say about Kanye before we move on? Let me come down here. Army, hey, Army Green. Damn, he make being crazy look too easy. Beautiful Spirit said, this is why he is next and he ain't crazy. Right. OMGZ, that's so Yeezy. I like that. Kanye stupid and an embarrassment to the black race. Oh, wow. That's a strong statement. This is ridiculous. It is. It's insanity, which is, I guess, maybe he's trying to say I am crazy. Look at me. Wild Wayne said that's a cool mask. He loves the mask. Well, listen, I'm sure it's being bought up right now by everybody and their mama. That's how people do. Rooted in ignorance. I don't know. Having that on your forehead isn't a good look. I'm not sure if you're still talking about this one or are we talking about Brendan? I mean, Don Richard. This is Don Richard stuff here. Lisa Bloom looks like her mom. She is cold with the attorney skills as well. I would retain her or her mom. Mm-hmm. Did anyone peep the angle of the photo was taken of Puff in the jungle doing a drug deal they've been watching? Someone was on their knees snapping pics. Is that what they were doing? I remember seeing that picture. You talking about when they caught him at the airport? Wow. Hey, I might be guilty. Oh yeah, Army, you better shut your mouth and don't let Lil Rod come anywhere near you, because he gonna snitch for sure. Juti said Brendan's talk for sure. Oh yeah, they already got all his testimony and statements, so they said you free to go now. Just watch your back. His treatment was for online counseling. Wasn't online counseling, and I forgot what else. What? Okay. At the beginning of the video. Okay. He's so smart. He fled the nation before he caught the charge. The cap he had on. Okay. Let me see. Oh, the cap. Okay. Rooted ignorance. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay, Kanye. Let's see when he took off the cap. Did we catch what he had? Oh, you're talking about Don Richard's forehead? Okay. All right. So, child, this is insane. But somebody's trying to prove a point for putting this out and getting this to TMZ, because I don't know if depositions are just publicly available like this. But TMZ has their ways, honey. I want to move on because I want to show a couple things that I came across, and it has to do with rituals in Hollywood. Now we've been talking about, it was just up, now it's not there. Hold on, I gotta pull it up again, 1 second. But we were talking about the rituals and stuff. We've been talking about this stuff really since the Diddy stuff, really since before. We've been talking about this stuff. Even with R. Kelly, we was talking about this stuff. So let me find, I'm on X. And I'm doing a story on my other channel on this whole Travis Hunter and his fiance stuff. And every day is new stuff that comes out. So I'm kind of holding back. I'm working on it for my other channel. But make sure you subscribe to The Nosy Goddess, Nozey. And let me pull up this guy who talks about rituals. I have two people I'm going to profile here and present. And of course, we don't know if it's true. I mean, people say things every day, but I kind of believe it. Here we go. Okay, so this is, it says, somebody, Faithful Black Men Association posted this, had to do some research, but this is a rapper named 607 Unk. Says, I'm 99%, this is literally a demon in human flesh, crazy times. Okay, let's see what he says. Right.
So you get out and you obviously...
No, I ain't just get out. They asked me that I want to get out. And I said, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't just get out.
You gotta do something.
You gotta do something to get out.
So you say yes. You're released from prison.
Oh, gang, you keep going too fast. I ain't just get released. So I want everybody to know the truth. Know what you got to do to get out of that, right? I had to sacrifice my son, gang. But it's all good because I can have another one. All right?
Okay, so you had to sacrifice your son to get out of prison.
Swear to God on my mama. But I don't really trip off of it because, like, you can have another one, right? What's one? I got two balls. I have two sons.
Okay.
Swear to God on my mama. I got to win, gang.
That didn't make you feel bad, or like, you know, what was the process like for doing that?
Come on, gang. I'm half Illuminati, gang. I know everything. I know. Just like Moses knew. Yeah, when God told Moses to kill his son, he was going to do it too. But I actually did it, right? Stop playing with me. I got the power. He didn't get all the power. He should have did it.
Okay.
Okay. Did you all hear that? Or do I need to play that again? Did you hear what this man said? Okay, let me post. This is the link to my channel, The Nosy Goddess, because wow, Wayne, you spelling it wrong, baby. There's no S. Nozey. The link is in the chat. Please go subscribe and check out the videos. Okay. This man just said he sacrificed his son because he wants to win in the industry. Okay. He said he could have another son. He got two balls. He could have two sons. Did you hear that? If that's not demonic, I don't know what is. But this is the type of stuff I believe this man. Now, I don't know nothing about 607 Unk, but the fact that he said this in an interview is outrageous. Okay, so I'm going to move over to another lady. Now, she's talking about something that happened with her recently. Now I'm on IG. Hold on. Give me a sec. Let me pull her back up. These pages don't like to stay where they're supposed to be. I got all this stuff saved to share with y'all. Here we go.
And Jason, whoever the representative was, live from Atlantic, and Jason, whoever the representative was, speaking to, I believe it was MSN. Let me just pull my phone out. They confirmed the goat skin and fish scale reference term, whatever you want to call it, that Jason told me I had to do in order to be successful in the industry. Derulo told her that in order to be successful in the music industry, an artist needs to partake in goat skin and fish scales. Both are slang phrases in which goat skin means to drink alcohol and fish scales refers to cocaine, according to the Derulo Atlantic attorney's court papers. I'm not a drinker. So if there's any bartenders that's watching this or people that know their alcohol, is there a drink called goat skin? Like you go to the bar, you go to the club, you're like, hey, give me a goat skin on the rocks. Please tell me, because I've never heard that. But they're confirming they know what this means. Okay, that's what was told to me. Now I went home, did my homework, heard about the fish scales reference about that related to cocaine. But goat skin, I'm like, that sounds like a ritual. So I went and looked. Daily Mail and a couple other websites stated Haitian ritual involving blood, goat, sex, sacrifice, all that stuff. Now, I am not saying all Haitians do this. I'm aware of different cultures. I've been told by people that support me that are Haitian, they're like, yeah, that Haitian voodoo stuff is real. I looked it up. It's a real thing. And yeah, I'm not going to partake in that. I'm not. I was told by my A&R, Eitan Ben Horn at the time, oh, Atlantic wants you to win, but we can't say the same for Jason. You got to be on his good side. So what's his good side? Doing goat skin and fish scales, drinking alcohol at the studio, which I didn't want to do, but I was pressured to do. Like, I need to sing. Ridiculous, but I got a DM throughout this process from a female that was involved with Jason Derulo, and I'll put the screenshots up here. She said that she was offered alcohol at the studio, passed out. Before she passed out, his cousin Movie, and it's crazy because she knows exactly who this is. I know this man was been in my session before. Took her to Jason's room, and then she woke up with him inside of her. Yeah, and she said, "Hey, you can share my story. So I'm not just doing stuff without people's permission. I'm connecting all the dots here because I was offered alcohol. Who knows what was in that alcohol? And if I would have drunk too much, that could have happened to me." Atlantic and Jason.
Okay, so this young lady is a singer, Amaza Dillon. Let's see what they say in the caption here. In her latest video, Amaza Dillon delves deeper into her lawsuit against Jason Derulo. You guys know who Jason Derulo is, right? He's a singer as well. She claims Jason pressured her to partake in a goat skin and fish scales ritual to succeed in the industry. Terms, she says, point to alcohol, drugs, and even sacrifice. Dillon also dropped receipts, sharing a DM from another woman who claims Derulo assaulted her after a studio session. Amaza Dillon, also known as Amaza Gibson, initially sued Derulo in October 2020. She claims that after singing with Derulo's label, Future History, he pressured her into sexual act, retaliated when she refused. Dillon alleged that Derulo promised to invest in the music industry, but then dropped her from the label and went silent when she didn't comply with his advances. The lawsuit includes accusations of sexual harassment, retaliation, and breach of conduct. So apparently this is from her YouTube channel. It's her name, Amaza Dillon. So this is the type of stuff, though, that we're seeing with Diddy suit. I'm sure more of this is going to come up with other people because there's so many people who try to make it in the industry, the music industry specifically, but the whole entertainment industry and modeling too, all the things, until they meet somebody once they're kind of getting their foot in the door who says, you can't go no further until you do this, that, and the other. And some people do it and still don't make it. And some people like her, though, who stand strong on their morals and integrity and beliefs and don't go through with things, they do get ghosted. Sometimes they even get retaliated against, physically threatened. All kinds of stuff happens. So, it's good for her that she is suing him. It looks like if she filed in October 23, I wonder where that stands. I might have to look into this case. But I wonder, too, if the lady who DM'd her and said she was assaulted is also suing him. And I'm wondering why we're not hearing anything about this. Because I haven't heard anything about this other than this lady talking about it. But yeah. I'm gonna come over here. You guys have any thoughts on this? Yeah, Trey Songz too. I just talked about him the other day. What's going on with him? What's going on with Chris Stokes? Trey Songz, though, has had suits filed against him, but for whatever reason, they end up getting dismissed. Juti says she is beautiful. Queen Key said charges coming. Shame you have to become over sexual to make it in. This is why artists make one song and disappear. Not him too. Yeah, him too. Him too. No Diddy. Every cult leader has a secret society. Groups stay high off of something. Yeah. His eyes look crazy. Oh, you talking about this guy? The guy we just showed? Yeah. He did insane. He looked real creepy. I don't know who had a son with him. But okay, now let's move over to the New York Times. And they're talking about Megan Thee Stallion seeking a restraining order against Torey Lanez. Her lawyer said Mr. Lanez has facilitated a campaign of harassment from prison where he's 10-year sentence after being convicted of shooting her. Megan Thee Stallion has asked a court in Los Angeles to issue a restraining order against rapper Torey Lanez, who is currently in prison serving a 10-year sentence for shooting her in 2020. He better be careful before he gets some new charges on him. Her lawyer said he had been waging a campaign of harassment against her from behind bars. In court papers filed Tuesday in Superior Court in Los Angeles, Mari Henderson, a lawyer for Megan Thee Stallion, said Mr. Lanez has sought to traumatize her by employing bloggers to spread defamatory statements about her online. And we know that she's suing Milagro Gramz of Mob Radio, and that they actually just produced some receipts that she was paid. They have recordings of prison calls between Tory and his father talking about it, as well as they just pulled up some Zelle receipts of payments between Tory's father and Milagro Gramz. But they say that his, her lawyers also said that Mr. Lanez had filed court papers. His legal rights had been violated one day before a documentary on Megan Thee Stallion was set to premiere. Taken together, they say in court papers that the harassment had caused Megan Thee Stallion emotional distress and harmed her reputation. Attempts to reach lawyer for Mr. Lanez was not immediately successful. Then they go into Torey Lanez's charges and whatnot. But yeah, they have receipts, child, on X. Let's see. Megan Thee Stallion filed a petition today. Okay. And then where are those receipts? Here we go. So this is Megan Cuniff, the reporter who was one of many, myself included, who covered the trial. She's on top of this case. She said also obtained Zelle records that show Lanez's father, Sunstar Carlisle John Peterson, paid Milagro $3,000, a little measly $3,000 between October 28th, 2020 and March 3rd, 2022 in 6 payments between $200 and $1,000. Now there's a little spreadsheet type thing right here. It's not even a spreadsheet. I don't know where they got this, but it's here from October of 2020 all the way through to March of 2022. Now the trial started in December 2021, I believe. So most of this was before the trial. The 10/28/2020 date is a couple months after the shooting incident happened. And she was heavily talking about this on her Discord and her YouTube channel and wherever else she has a platform, and disparaging Megan the whole way, saying things, defaming her character, saying things about the case that weren't true, along with others like academics and that Mo guy. I can't think of his name. He's an employment lawyer. I had the unfortunate experience of sitting next to him during the sentencing and I'm just telling you my personal experience, that he was funky as a mother. I don't know when the last time he took a shower or if he ran to court, which was in downtown LA from the beach and then just sat down. But I don't know. But child, anyway, who is this underneath here talking about I love you, Diddy? Oh, this is them showing the love between Jay-Z. I still can't believe Jay-Z's lawyer had the nerve to say They're not friends. They're only business associates. Child. Okay, so let's see. What did he do? Well, okay, so Torey Lanez came out with a song, I would say last week, maybe, with DDG, who is Halle Bailey's The Little Mermaid, her baby daddy. So he had a song with Tory. Tory is locked up, right? But he apparently has a song out with DDG. He put a verse on it. And in that verse, he says some things. Something about that, you know, him having learned to make a shank or make a knife, a weapon in jail. So now he knows how he's going to handle it next time. He also says something like the only regret he has about that night of the shooting is getting out the pool with Kylie. Okay. And maybe if he had stayed, he wouldn't have gotten into that trouble, but he left with Megan. Megan came back to get him because she didn't like what was going on between him and Megan, him and Kylie. And Kylie got her nerve getting involved like that with this man and knowing good and well that Megan invited him and probably was messing around with this man. But I'm sure Kylie moves how she moves. What did you say, Queen? I saw that Ariel Mitchell interview last night on Trey Songz. He definitely needs to be indicted. Yeah, she was the actual attorney filing the suits on him. Beautiful Spirit said Ariel Mitchell cases against Trey Songz haven't budged. Right. She also has against, I think, Chris Brown, too. Speaking of Chris Brown, something came out about him, too, that made me think of what the psychic lady, what was her name? What's that lady's name? Sloan Bella said about him when we played the video yesterday. Remember, she mentioned Chris Brown being next and MC Hammer. Okay, let me see if I have that saved here. I think I do. I have everything saved here on my Instagram. While I'm scrolling, let's see what else is here. Fannie Willis. She said that racketeering case that she put together, that Young Thug case that fell apart, she has no regrets. She has no regrets. Let's see. New music from Kendrick coming. I'm pretty sure he's going to drop something before the Super Bowl. I hope he does. Chris Brown, we showed that yesterday. Let's see what else. 50 Cent sitting there with Andrew Schultz. Trying to take up for Drake, of all people. Lil Wayne tried to say, me and Kendrick had a talk, and he said, I didn't even know about that verse till just now, or that line. He is lying. Let me see. Chris Brown. Let me see. This was recent, so let me scroll up. Oh, yeah, Tiffany Haddish, they say she settled, but she also won that remember when Tiffany Haddish and that Aries Spears had that case against them about grooming those children? Well, I guess that case has finally been dismissed, and but it says that she settled. So the headline is misleading, but I think they settled the suit, but she had to end up getting her lawyer's fees paid by the person that accused her. So sounds like that lady lost out. Brendan Paul. Oh yeah, I want to show y'all this. Hey. Hey. Listen to the screams. Hey. As soon as he steps out the frame, you hear some screams. Sound like it's a kid or a little child. Where is James? We've been talking about him missing MIA from practice and games, talking about he had to step out for legal reasons. Now, some people say it's because he doesn't like what's in the court. Now, mind you, this man is almost 40 years old. They say he with the youngins. Some say it has to do with the Diddy stuff and Jay-Z, because they say they putting him out there so they can distract from their own cases. We don't know. But all I know is this is not a good look. Thankfully, he's not in the same room with him. But I don't know what those screams are, child. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to play it one more time. Hey. And they didn't flinch. Nobody flinched when this happened. And mind you, he has a shirt on saying truth of all things. The nerve. Let me see if anybody in the comments peeped that. Let's see. Somebody said, what kind of men dance like this together? Gay men. That's the answer. Not a woman in sight. Sounds like Diddy took the rubber ball out of their gimp's mouth. Oh, judging by the screaming. Sounded like a little like Kevin Hart. Justin Bieber? Who knows after hearing about these sick Diddy parties? I'm hoping when Trump gets in office, he releases the Epstein and Diddler files. Well, that's what they're promising. Somebody said, LeBron with a glass of wine, the gayest thing in the whole existence. Oh, wow. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Somebody said, whatever they was doing, them screams got me concerned as to what kind of party is going on there. The fact that people in the comment section find this amusing is disturbing. Wow. Somebody said Diddy party via Zoom is also a criminal offense. All of them look guilty. Somebody said, who the F is that screaming? And everybody was saying it was Justin Bieber, Usher, or Kevin Hart, and they were naming other people too. But this is diabolical. Okay, let me find the thing. Oh yeah, Corinne Steffens. This is another thing I wanted to bring up. Corinne Steffens jumped into the conversation about Jay-Z and his allegations. She said, none of this is shocking. Now, y'all remember she wrote that book, Confessions of a Video Vixen, right? She had 2 books, but she outed a lot of rappers specifically in that book for down low behavior and also abusive behavior. But recent statement to the Daily Beast is, let's see, it says that she claims to have had a relationship with the rapper, and she shared, none of this is shocking, and it's all a part of the same Me Too movement. I'm not sure why people are separating this wave of Black music executives / artists from the original Me Too investigations and arrests. They're all connected. She added, so she's saying the Me Too movement is really behind all of this. She said, from Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and the hundreds in between, they're all connected. There are still hundreds more men to be accused, found guilty, and fall. A few months ago, her last name is Obeson, commented on her experiences with other hip-hop moguls, stating that she was once gifted to Sean Diddy Combs by an unnamed executive, though she does not describe herself as one of his victims. Both Jay-Z and Diddy have denied claims against them. Well, she doesn't, because I believe they paid her, and she was knowing what she was getting into, I guess. Let's see. Somebody said she had nothing but good things to say about him and Diddy in her book, though. I don't know that she did. I specifically remember a scene she described with Diddy and Big Tigger, who had that Rap City show. I think he was, or The Basement. He had a show on BET a long time ago. She said there was feces and blood all over them sheets when they got finished. But sorry to be so graphic. Okay, let me see. Here we go. So this story came out today. Lil Wayne and Chris Brown allegedly used pandemic grants. So this is the PPP loan for designer clothes, private jets, and birthday parties. And that is illegal. And they're still putting people in jail for this, y'all. Now it says that Lil Wayne and Chris Brown, along with other artists, are under scrutiny for allegedly misusing pandemic relief grants. According to a report from Business Insider, the artists were eligible for up to $10 million from the Shuttered Venue Operations Grant. Okay, so this is not PPP, it's a different grant. Shuttered Venue Operations Grant, a government program designed to help independent venues and art groups struggling during the pandemic. The money was intended to cover ordinary and necessary expenses, and recipients were required to show a 25% revenue loss between 2019 and 2020. Wayne and Brown, however, reportedly used the funds for personal expenses. According to the report, Wayne received $8.9 million and used $1.3 million on private jets, $460,000 on designer clothes, and $2.14 million to settle a debt with his former manager. What? Brown, who reportedly received $10 million, allegedly paid himself $5.1 million and spent nearly $80,000 on a lavish birthday party, probably for one of his kids. Somebody said, Chris just made history and now here comes the hate. Leave him alone. Urban blogs are being paid to post dirt on black celebs. See, it's some people I'm finding that are going to defend to their deaths. They don't know these people, but they are windmilling in these comments. Because believe me, I'm in there setting some of these people straight. Okay, I'll be in there with my little quips. And somebody said, technically, they are a business. They have employees. You know, I was going to say, though, because they're entertainers, some of these expenses may be legitimate expenses they would use. About the birthday party and, you know, Chris Brown paying himself $5.1 million. I don't know if that's allowed within the parameters of this fund, but I don't know. I mean, it doesn't say that there's been any type of charges or arrests or anything like that. But the fact that they found out about this, how did they find out? I'm gonna have to look and see where was this originally reported? Because there's a reason this is out in the media. Let me see if any of y'all have something to say. Beautiful Spirit said, everybody catching allegations. Michelle said, new levels, new devils on all levels. Okay. Yes, please like, share, subscribe while you are here. Please like this video. It will help me tremendously and it's free, y'all. Isn't LeBron James missing in action? Yes. Juti said, we are not distracted. Well, Wayne, if you just came in, please check out my live replay. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, if you just came in, please go back in the replay and catch the whole thing. We talked about a whole bunch of things today. More time spent than my usual daytime live, but thank you so much for hanging out with me, y'all. And I wanted to leave you guys with something positive, okay? Because we got enough of this bullshit negativity in going on here. I mean, all these things I have saved in my Instagram are mostly negative stuff. But I'm going to leave you with this man's words because he's very wise and he's, you know, knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, what's up? Question for you. Yeah. Is this your Rolls Royce? Yeah. And what do you do for a living out here in Tampa to be able to afford? I am a business consultant. How long have you been a business owner for? I've been a business owner for 39 years. Could I interview you real quick? I go all over the country just asking business owners advice to new entrepreneurs. Sure. What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year? Most amount of money I've ever made in a single year, $15 million. $15 million. Yeah. Have you ever been broke before? I was broke for the first part of my life. Then I made millions of dollars, and then I was broke again. And now we've set it up in such a way that that doesn't happen anymore. So what separates middle class from wealthy people in today's world? Poor people and middle class people feel like everything's expensive because they pay for everything with money they've exchanged their time for, and they feel like they're paying for everything with their life because they are. Wealthy, creative entrepreneurs, we pay for things according to our creativity. In other words, we create an offer to pay for everything we buy. So everything costs the same amount. And do you believe in God? I more than believe in God. I trust God. How important has faith been for you throughout your career? It's the most important thing in my life. How did you build that relationship and build that trust in God? Maybe to speak to those people that... I received Christ as my Savior when I was 16 years old. I started reading the Bible when I was 17. Every that I learned, the very first thing that I do is I go back and look at Scripture and see if it lines up. If it does, I'll follow it. If it doesn't, I ditch it. You got amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that. Good to meet you, young man. Excuse me, sir.
That was dope. He ain't bad looking older gentleman. And he's rich. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. You know, he is definitely guided on the ball. And speaking of, your girl got to get back to work. So I'm going to go. But I really had a good time with y'all today. I do appreciate your time. And let's remember that these two were definitely friends.
What's that? That's Marv King? Niggas feeling marvelous. You gotta get the shoes though. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, we saw that. And I'm gonna let Tia take y'all out because you ain't got to go home, boo-boo. But
Toodles, toodaloo. Move around. Go on somewhere. Do you? You know, get on. Scat. Bye.